Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Susan for SLC Aquatics. Let me know how the video and how the audio sounds. I hope everyone is having a great Tuesday. Looks like the video is buffering a little bit. Don't know what's wrong with the internet signal. So do you hear me? And do you see me? Both good? The audio looks good and the video sounds good too. Thank you, Diego. Oh boy. No buffering here. Good. I was having a really good nap. And well, thank you for joining me, Bam Aquatics. I met him, I think, last night in Bob's live stream, and he is from Alabama as I am. I still don't know what part of Alabama, but he has quite a few. I think he has about 4 videos up. He's been in the hobby for about 6 months now. So I wanted to welcome everyone in the chat. Let me scroll up to see what's going on. We got Diego, Petsotics, multiple aquariums in the house. We have Daryl Deemer in the house. We have Melvin's Aquatic Empire in the house. Hello, Melvin's. Down the wormhole, D. Hey, D, how you doing? We have, I guess that's it. Oh, Freshwater Fish Freaks came on in. Hello, Michael, how you doing? Good to have you with us tonight. Well, I'm glad everything is sounding good and looking good. Um, let's see, updates. Let's see. I want to go ahead and let everybody know how my husband, Mr. SLC Aquatics, Rob, don't even know my own husband's name, Rod Core, if he chimes in, I don't know if he's taking a nap himself. He surprised me today with a gift, and so I'm going to share it with you guys. He found this guy on Let Go, who's local, and it says Fish Fam Mom. And it has a mount on it, and it is stained, freshly stained, but it will wear off at, the smell will wear off after a while. But, thank you, honey, and thank you. I think his name is Rob. And if anybody else is interested in, this was custom work. He does custom work, and he also does other things like God Bless, and he had War Eagle for Auburn and Roll Tide for Alabama. But I'm going to just let it prop right there for right now. Oh my goodness. Oh, hey Flint, how you doing? Good to see you, sweetheart. I'm going to turn around and feed this little tank. I've got my blue-green Moscow females and their fry in there for right now. And yeah, it's the perfect gift. I'm wearing Susie Q's apron that she sent to me, Fish Fam Mom. And I'm going to feed the little guys back here. I'm feeding the fry, Corey's small fish fry food. And This stuff is great. They love it. And I think I have about, I lost one female. I think they were fighting. I really do. The females were fighting. And I do have one mosaic female in there that's real poor. She's got some kind of skinny disease. She may recuperate with fresh water. I got to do another water change. And I have one corridor in there and one auto sinkless. And some live plants. And that's a 10-gallon. Your video is small on my screen, just to let you know. Yeah, I'm trying to see where my alert box is. And this is Streamlabs OBS, and so it's set up for gamers. I'm changing the frame, and now I'm going to change my webcam a little bit. Is that better? Now I got to go back to make sure I got room for the alert box. Let's see, the alert box can come down here. And let's stretch the chat and the chat frame. Let's see. Oh, it won't go off the screen. Okay. I think that's it. Is that better? Sherry's in the house. Hey, Sherry. Is that a little bit better? Daryl? Yeah, I've got to customize this just a little bit. I wanted to know if my chat is active. It doesn't act like it. Go to YouTube to view your live stream. Edit your stream title and description. Nah. It's better, yes. I could enlarge it even some more. Can y'all see the chat? I don't even like the font of the chat. But let me show you what the background looks like. Y'all like my background? I could move all of this down just a little bit more. If I'm boring you, you let me know. And I could put the alert box right about here. Yeah, that'll work. So webcam, that's my webcam. I'm going to enlarge my webcam and then my webcam frame. So I got to move my webcam over. Here we go. Does that look better? And I'll go ahead and leave the tip jar needs to. But I'm playing with my Streamlabs OBS tonight, And that's what the background looks like. And now when I go to a break, I think it mutes my audio. The Loach guy, hey, how you doing? Yeah, I like this because when you go from different scenes, it actually mutes the audio for you. Where on Diego says, I tried playing with OBS. I got Streamlabs OBS. Is that what you're using? Yeah, I'm using it, and the theme that I'm using is nature right now. And you can hide your background by just clicking on that eyeball and it goes away. But it looks pretty nice. Let's enlarge my channel name at the top. How's that? All right. It says stream chat. It says top donation is Scott Burden at $10. Don't have any new subs right now. I had, let me go ahead and do this alert. And so the newcomers can see what the alert looks like. Bam Aquatics subscribed to me last night. Like it says 2 days ago. And then Ray Ping Miners, he also subscribed a week ago. So those are little bells and whistles that I have. Hey Dank, what you up to, man? See, my chat box is not working, and I probably needed to log in through the software, I think. Because right now my settings is not staying on the screen. Twin City Guppies, hey King Lee, how you doing? He made it before I was logging off. Great. How's things going in the fish room? I forget how many fish Daryl has, and is Michael's freshwater fish freak still in the house? Because we're going to do a collab as soon as he's ready. He has some exciting news, and we want to share it with you if he hasn't blurted it out already on Instagram or Twitter. You're still here? Good. Well, you got to get with me and let's get a collab set up for it doesn't have to be on a Tuesday night. It could be on a Thursday or a Friday. Now I'm getting ready to take a short leave of absence from my job, October the 1st through the 10th. And I'm going to go see my mother and spend some time with her and help her out a little bit. And I probably won't be able to live stream, wow, for 2 weeks. The 2nd and the 9th. Yipes. But anyway, if any one of you are a patron, I posted in Patreon today that there will be a contest when I reach 900 subscribers. I don't have a subscriber count on the screen right now, but I think I'm at 869 or 870. It bounces back and forth. So let's round it off to 870. I'm 30 subscribers from 900. And I think we can get there by the 1st of the month if we push sharing my videos. If you have a favorite video of mine that you would like to share, go back onto my playlist or go down my list of videos that I've uploaded lately. And if there's one of your favorites, just copy the URL and paste it in a messenger or paste it in an email or on social media and just share it and help me get my presence out there. I do it in my SLC Aquatics um, on my page on Facebook. I also do it and share my videos in Susan for SLC Aquatics group on Facebook. But because it's a closed group, it's not public. But my page is public. So a lot of times I will post things on my page. I don't put too much on my Facebook profile because my Facebook profile, I don't want it saturated with just fish fam stuff. I'm a minister as well, so I use it in ministry, my Facebook profile. Hey, Mob, how you doing? And Jeffro, hey, Jeffro, how you doing, sweetheart? And Fish Tropic, hey, Jason, how you doing? So help me, help me get my presence out there by sharing me on Twitter and Instagram and Snapchat and Twix and all social media platforms. And, which one's Peter? Is Mob Guppy Peter? I'm learning people's first names. Oh, Peter could be the Loach guy. All right. Y'all have to let me know or I'm just going to call you by your YouTube channel. And sometimes when I learn your first name, you don't want me to say your first name, so you need to let me know that too. I can call you Fish Tropic all day long. Hope you're doing good. I know the fish business and fish hobby's got you staying busy, Jason. I know he does. But my updates on my outside tubs, our temperatures are still in the 70s at night and in the upper 90s during the day. We are concerned for our friends that are in the path of the Hurricane Florence. I know there's been statewide evacuations from the coastline, the Outer Banks in North Carolina, and the shore and parts of South Carolina has been evacuated. And I do believe River Life in the Fish Fam, hashtag Fish Fam Safe group on Facebook posted this morning how they had evacuations even into parts of eastern Tennessee. And he said that the hotels and things were starting to fill up from the people that had to evacuate. Right now it is a Category 4, and we're really praying that it will lose strength long before it hits shore. But if it doesn't, we pray for life and property to be protected. And be smart and evacuate. Don't try to sit and ride the storm out because then fatality count will go up. So I hope that I haven't had any updates with the western fires out there in California and Washington and Oregon and where else? Because Dee said that they were getting smoke now up into Canada from the forest fires. The Loach guy is a Jeff too. Sweet. We're lots of Jeffs in the hobby. Lumpy Dog is a Jeff as well as Valley Fish. Thanks, Jeffro, for letting me know that. There's a lot of Michaels and then there's a lot of Jeffs. There's a lot of Bobs. There's a couple Corys, but they're spelled different, like Corey, Corey, Kory. And then our last name is Core, and my husband's nickname is Corey from California. So, there's a lot of Corys, Jeffs, Michaels, Bobs, There's a Michael in the house, freshwater fish freak. There's something wrong with my saltwater tank, and I'm just pulling my hair out trying to figure out what it is. The fish seem fine, but the corals are looking stressed. Is anybody in the chat that can help Michael out with the corals? Because I could refer you over to the guys I used to work for, Willow's Reef. They may be able to help you out. Jeremy Stelhorn. So, Michael, look up Jeremy Stelhorn or Daniel Chapman on Facebook, and they're saltwater geeks, so they may be able to help you with your corals. Also, who else is in corals? Michael at Green Oasis Farms. Check with him. Hey, Susie Q, how you doing?
I'm happy to be here.
That was Siri answering me. She tickles me because when I say hi to Sherry or hi Susie Q, she wants to light up the screen. So, Michael, that's about all I can do is refer you to some people that could help you. I don't know anything about corals. Of course, I know you've checked your water perimeters and, you know, overfeeding or underfeeding your corals. Do you feed them copepods? She's happy to be here too. Lumpy Dog's in the house. Hey, Lumpy Dog. How you doing? So anyway, I was given updates. I bought 10 feeder goldfish from PetSmart and have a couple very unique goldfish too. And one's reef roids. Okay, you're feeding reef roids. Okay. And the water chemistry is fine, Michael? Might be a mineral deficiency. Let me see. Could be a mineral deficiency in your corals. Yes, Susie did a tour of all of her outside ponds and turtle in area and summer tubs and all of her tanks. She did a fish room tour on her last video, and you really do need to check it out. Diego says freshwater fish rig. What do you mean stressed? What are they doing or not doing? And what type of coral are they? Oh, Diego, I forgot that you do saltwater too, sweetheart. Forgive me. Angelo's in the house. Hey, Angelo. Thanks for helping, Diego. Soft corals are scrunched up tight. Definitely are stressed. The polyps are melting to nothing. That's not good. Well, I hope that Diego can help you. Angelo says, don't forget to hit that like button. Thank you very much. And if you would like to support this stream, look in the description and click on that link, and you can donate, and it will come up on the screen that you did donate, and I would like to honor you for helping support this stream. I work in my Patreon account quite a bit. Try to every other day or a couple days a week post something in there that's just for patrons. And some things have been for patrons, and then in 2 or 3 days they are released publicly. So there are some people, if you're not a patron and you're just following me, you can see some of the content that I post on my Patreon. Also, I put on Patreon today that there will be a contest when I reach 900 subscribers, and we will do a random puller from a certain video with comments. And I'm trying to think about for 900 how nice it would be to have $900 gift cards. But no, I can't do that because I'm not making any money yet off of YouTube or Patreon or anything. Yeah, I have. I think there's 19 patrons, but out of 19 patrons, there's like 5 or 6 that are not donating. They're just following me, which is fine. I'm not gonna fuss about people not supporting me. But the updates on my ponds outside are 10 feeder goldfish and a couple really beautiful long fins. So I'm not quite sure if that one's a goldfish or a baby koi. And then I bought 2 shabumpkins too, Sherry, and they're orange and white. They're not as pretty as your shabumpkin, but I did get a couple of them for the pond, and they're doing well. I lost 1 or 2 of the feeder fish, which is to be expected. That's why I bought so many of them. And they're only about an inch long, the feeder fish are, but the shabumpkins are about 2 or 3 inches long, and they're really pretty. And my koi that is in the quarantine tank right now, he is putting on weight. He's still flashing every once in a while, so I'm doing weekly water changes and keeping the salinity up to what is it, 0.5 on the test thing. So staring at my 75 that needs a water change, Loach Guy says. Freshwater Fish Freak says Mars Aqua 165 watt. And then Jeff Rose says staring at it won't change the water. That's too funny. That's true. Staring at a tank will not change the water. You have to physically get up and do something about it. Freshwater Fish Freak says the green star polyp is only about half out. So if anybody can help Michael at Freshwater Fish Freaks concerning his corals and his saltwater tank, please sound off. I think Diego's checking it out, trying to problem solve for him. The Loach Guy says, I know. Won't get the grass cut outside either. Oh, shh, don't talk about outside grass. As soon as we cut it, it starts growing again. But it's still luscious green, and I'd rather have green yard than brown yard. But everybody give me updates out there in Washington about the forest fires. Have they got them put out, and how have they assessed how much damage and property loss there's been? Sorry, Michael, I haven't a clue. Yeah, Michael. Fingers crossed that somebody will help you. Diego's checking it out now, I know. And this little tank right here was my blue-green Moscow guppies, King Lee, that were out in the summer tub. And the females were looking really poor because I think that the guys were outnumbering the girls. And the water quality diminished due to lack of water changes outside. See, my ponds are under a porch, so they don't get rainwater to help, replace that old water. And so, me not thinking about it, hello, dear.
Sorry, I just looked at the time.
That's okay. My anyway, lack of water changes outside. Diego says, Michael, are you able to send a picture to my salty guy at swdept@petsonics.com? Thank you, Diego. So, Michael, if you can get that information down, swdept@petsonics.com. Send a photo of what's going on in your saltwater tank, and someone will be able to help you shortly. Angelo says, hi, Rod.
Hey, Angelo.
Caught him off guard, Angelo. So Michael's going to send a picture, Diego. Thank you, Diego, for helping him out. Hope he gets something resolved before he loses any corals. Um, the tank behind me, like I said, is a 10-gallon tank, and that has the female guppies in there from the summer tubs, the green Moscow females. The one female that was so fat holding her fry that she was floating on her side, and I thought I was going to lose her. But when I first brought them in, I put them in, fresher water. I mixed their pond water with fresher water, and then I also put a little erythromycin and a little bit of levomycin in there. I didn't have any general cure, so that's why I used a little bit of levomycin. And for 24 hours, she started, and an air stone. I put an air stone in their little container, and the next day she was swimming upright and started having babies. So I put some Java moss in there, and I did I think a 50% water change, and I put some fresher dechlorinated water in there with an air stone. She had a bunch of babies for me, so I started moving fish from this tank. If you remember, this tank had 2 baby angels in it, and some of the blue-green Moscow males and a couple females from the 29-gallon when I broke the 29-gallon down. So when's the next Q&A with Rod? Angelo said. Hey, Rod, I have to ask him. I told him we're going to have him on the show soon. Excuse me. He's had so many phone problems. He's lost a lot of video and pictures from his car. But we will do our best to, I might go in and take some photo shots, and I've got a few pictures that I took the other day of the outside, but now I can gonna have to go get some water, guys. Hey, Mark, love you. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Thanks for waiting. Yeah, mute the stream and show some love. Hey, hey, Mark, good to have you. Yeah, I had to go get something to drink. I think y'all haven't seen, my newcomers haven't seen my gift that my husband had made for me. He found this guy on Let Go, and he had, woohoo, hashtag, no, he needs a hashtag there, but I may paint one on. Fish, fam, mom. Fish, fam, mom. Susie Q, you see that? Isn't that beautiful? Hey, Jesse, HC Aqua. Hey, Pleco Whisper. Mark Mark left from Big Easy and came back. Pleco Whisper. Bye. Where are you going? Are you gonna do another stream tonight? I'll try to join tonight, Mark. Depends on how late you start. I think my chat is changing colors. Can y'all see it on the screen? It was orange earlier. Now it's blue. Hey, dear.
All right, what?
Angelo asked, when's the next Q&A with Rod?
That's a good question.
Probably have to be like real soon or when I get back from my trip.
I'll try to come in next Tuesday.
Can y'all hear him?
I'll try to come in next week. I just got text by my banana pudding and I went down and it hit me in the mouth.
Well, go enjoy your banana pudding, honey. Thank you. And thanks again for my gift.
You're welcome.
Oh, nice, Susan. And Diego says, I want one with Pet Sonics. How much? Hey, Rod. I'll ask him, Diego. Isn't it sad you got to text each other in the house? Let me see. Now, Rod didn't make that. He a friend, someone, not a friend, but someone he met on Let Go that lives locally to us. Do you want just Pet Sonics or PetSonics.com? And then Jesse says, Mark has a stream going right now too. Oh, that's why he popped in and said hi and then bye. Thank you, Jesse. Thank you for sharing Mark with me. Promise, Angelo says. LOL. Michael says, pictures are sent. Great, Diego. And Michael. Angelo says, see you, Rod. It's always a delay. Pleco Whisper, promo code Pleco Whisper 15 gets off 15% at PetSonics.com. Yes, he's sharing his promo code at PetSonics.com. Let me share the link. Go to PetSonics.com and shop, and you can use Pleco Whisper. Oh, never mind. Diego deleted that. So let me delete mine. He's working on his website right now. Thank you, Diego. He'll take care of it. Hope that was okay, Susan. Mark, Diego deleted it, so Diego needs to talk to you about what he's doing on his website, okay? He's redoing the prices and everything. So just hold off on that, Mark, okay? That's okay. He'll explain it to you. Also, I got to the one like the Fish Fan Mom sign was 15. The one my Fish Fan Mom one was $15, but for him to have to ship it to you in Illinois, I don't know how much more it would cost. So that sign like that was $15, he said. So I don't know if he'll charge more for having to ship it or what. But when my show's over, I'll add his website in the description so that you can click on his website link, because right now I don't have it. I don't know the website. So anyway, everybody else is doing good. The angels laid eggs last week, but she ate them all. She won't let the male actually come over and do his fertilization very well. She wants to fight with him as soon as she lays eggs. So I believe my angel pair have gotten old, and it's probably time to probably separate them into different tanks and start with a different breeding pair. And I've got 4 of the babies growing up that will soon be pairing off into breeding pairs. Diego, the website to that guy that did those signs, and I'm going to check that out. Mosewood.com. Yep. I'm looking at it. He does custom work of any kind of whatever you want on there. I want to tell Rod thanks. Let me see if he ships. Collections, festivals, customized. I mean, he's got a website, so he probably does ship out. So if you want a sign customized like mine out of wood, he'll do it for you. Mob Guppy says hi to Pleco. Whisper. Angelo says I have only one juvenile angel growing out. The rest didn't make it, unfortunately. I'm sorry, Angelo. Did you pull them from the parents, or did the parents raise them? See, I had to pull mine from my parents because after they became free swimming, then they want to eat them. And not every angel pair is that way. Who is it that's got angel? Susie Q's got angels right now that are raising their young. Don't you, Susie Q? And maybe the next spawn will be more successful for you, Angelo. And I know I had to pull my young from their parents, and I put them in a 10-gallon, well, actually they were in a 3-gallon tub with a light on 24/7 to make green water. I added some moss down, Java moss in there. I had a heater. I had air pump, or not a sponge filter. I had oh boy, my mind's blank. Anyway, I had air in there, and I was feeding them Corey's Aquarium Co-op's fish fry, small fish and fry food. Also, I didn't have any brine shrimp at the time. Yes, I separated them because free swimmers are getting ate from my rainbows. Oh, the rainbows were eating them. Okay. But yeah, it's trial and error. Even keeping their water, like I said, I didn't change my water that often with them. I did daily water changes, but like 10%. And I think after 2 weeks, I had green water from leaving the lights on 24/7. So I started timing how often I would put the lights on. And I think I left the lights on still 10 and 12 hours a day, and gave them more break at night once they started eating. I also had a snail, a ram's horn snail in there, and I think one Corridora, one baby Corridora. And started out with 12, and I ended up with 5 living. And, now they're 6 months old, and they're a good, I don't know, 2.25 inch in diameter. They haven't spawned since, unfortunately. I was looking forward to growing these guys, but it's okay. I moved on to endlers, LOL. Yeah, the easy ones. They have babies, and as long as they can hide in places, they'll do fine. The tanks I had for the angelfish fry now have endler fry. All right, congratulations. And what kind of endlers did you get? Did you get those green bar endlers? Those are some pretty endlers. I might go back to some endlers. I like the wild guppies, like what Joseph at JH Aquatics catches, and those wild guppies that Jimmy caught while he was in Hawaii. Of course, he re-released them that I know of, and they're yellow tigers. Oh yeah, I think I've seen them. The yellow tigers are beautiful too. Really pretty. Yes, they are. They look like little bumblebees buzzing around in the tank. That's cool. Congratulations. And let's see. My corridors are still spawning, but they've slowed down. Water changes. I just got to get back on a schedule for my water changes. I was going to ask, and I might make this another stream, but I was going to ask, what kind of fish keeper are you? What kind of fish hobbyist are you? Are you the simple kind that just want to put your fish in some dechlorinated water and watch them and let them, be relaxing and calming for you? What did Jesse say? I got some wild guppies and wild plecos from my local river. Yes, Jesse, I'm jealous. I'm jealous. I'm jealous. Because that's the very first guppies I had as a child that were wild caught guppies out of a stream. CJ's in the house. Hey, darling. Hello, just got in from the barn. Husband's still working, so I can hang out till he gets home. Well, all right, dear. Thank you for joining us tonight. I wanted to show you what Rod had made for me. He didn't make it, but he had it made for me. And this is a plaque that says Fish Fam Mom on it. I don't know if you can see it. Fish Fam Mom all the way down. And it's I don't know where I'm going to hang it yet. I want to put it in the fish room downstairs. But I told Rod I don't like streaming on my laptop because it's Wi-Fi and it's not consistent, and sometimes it'll overheat, and I lose my stream. What did Angelo say? The broke type. Thanks, darling. The Loach guy says my first native fish were bluegills and creek chubs. Awesome. That was your first native fish. I had no idea what those things were I caught out of the creek. They were pretty good. Probably were baby bass. And D says, I love it, Susan. Thank you. Freshwater Fish Freak is saying, fish, guppies. Okay. Fish, guppies, blowfish, crabs, shrimp, and squid was his first fish. You probably are talking about what you ate, right? We're talking about pets. Oh, cool. Looks great. Thank you, CJ. Angela says, you asked what type of fish keeper I am. Oh, the broke type. I was going to start out with the scientific geek, where you learn every scientific classification name. You learn how to pronounce it. Um, you know their native country. You know their natural habitat. Um, you're the TDS guy. You test under a microscope when your fish gets sick to find out what kind of parasite or what kind of fungus, or we all should do that to experiment. But and then, are you the kind that hmm I don't know, the scientific kind, the intermediate type fish keeper, or the beginner? And Angelo's the broke type. Well, we're all that. Oh, my first fish was a betta. All right, Michael, thank you for being honest. My first fish was a goldfish as a child. We won them at a fair, and I think there was three of them. And we didn't know how to keep them. We didn't know about water changes. We didn't know about not overfeeding them. We didn't know about putting oxygen in the water. So we had a fish bowl with three little goldfish in it. And we'd come in from school every day and we would and feed them. And I don't know if Mom changed the water ever or anything. But I don't think they lasted long. I think they only lasted a week or two, it seems like. And I remember one died, and then the last two died together. And my baby sister and I asked Mom if we could have a jewelry box where we could bury them in the yard. And we had a funeral for them. So that was my first experience for a funeral. I have no idea what we said over it. Probably just cried. Angelo said, there's no way I can fit that in my memory. And my hat's off to the scientific fish keeper. Even I learned in keeping koi, I need to go ahead and get a little microscope so that I can better diagnose the illness that they may get from time to time. Diego says mine was a GF as well from a fair too. A GF, I guess a goldfish, right? Yours was a goldfish from a fair too. Awesome. We have some things in common. Angelo says first ever aquatic pet was a turtle, but unfortunately one day it just disappeared. Don't know what happened to it, huh? The loach guy, my first real tropical fish were zebra danios in a small shallow bowl. I got mad at the one because it kept chasing the other around the tank, the bully. And now as you've gotten older, I guess you've learned that they weren't bullying, but spawning maybe? Yeah. Michael says, I've got 3 fair goldfish comets going on a year and a half now, and they're huge. Yeah, the goldfish that I had in my pond were 6 and 8 inches long, and they were 2 years old, and they were feeder fish that were just given to me. And I had 5 of them, but the white one, when I got home, I immediately euthanized it because it was very sick. I don't think it would have recovered. And whatever it had, I didn't want it to spread it to my other goldfish. And then I put them in a 5-gallon tank, and I added salt according to the directions, which was 1 rounded tablespoon of aquarium salt, and I kept that in there until the next water change, and then I added a little more aquarium salt again, and they really responded to aquarium salt. Angelo said, I was young. I know, it probably scarred you, didn't it? Melvin's is back. Hey, Melvin's, how you doing? What was your first aquarium fish or pet as a child, if you had any? What was your first one? Didn't have to be when you was a child. What was your first ever aquatic pet or fish? And I've tried even remembering the scientific name for my guppies. I've tried remembering the scientific name for my corridors. If I remembered their species name, I'm doing good. Fancy guppy, peppered corridora. My angels, I don't know if they're autumn angels or whatever. They're just angelfish. Now I know that the gold gourami is what, about 4 or 5 inches long now. Pet Sonic says, okay, I gotta go. I gotta do some more errands before 8, but I'll be listening on my phone. Thanks, Diego. And also, if you have time in the morning after 10, you can text me and run by me what you wanted to talk to me about on, was it Sunday? So text me after 10 o'clock in the morning, okay? Love you. God bless you. And let's see. Paradise fish. I have 6 bettas. I have 2 veil tails, 1 dark blue and 1 pink. I have a tricolored rose tail or double tail betta. I have a red crown tail. I have a yellow and blue mustard gas, half moon mustard gas. I have he's 2 bicolored king placket betta. Very beautiful boy. And the 25 downstairs is now raising the 4 angels that I raised from birth, and 4 corridors that I raised from birth. And that tank actually has everything in it that I cultivated the eggs and I raised them, and they didn't die on me. I'm so glad they didn't die. Angelo says, wait, are we naming all the fish we have? Oh my God, I'm going to be here a while. No, I'm naming it. I'm the host. I'm naming all of my fish tonight. Mob Guppy says, lots of water changes with those bettas. Mine gets water changes about every 2 weeks. And they have filtration. They have live plants. They don't get fed. They don't get overfed. And they might be a little underfed. But actually, I overfed them at first when I got them, and their bellies kind of got puffy. And then I fasted them for 2 or 3 days. And then I started feeding them little bits. And then every other day I would feed them until I got used to what portion to feed mine. I have those little micro pellets. I also alternate, excuse me, I alternate from the micro pellets to the Betta Flakes. And sometimes they get a little freeze-dried bloodworm treat. And that's like once a week or whatever. Dee says, off for a walk with the family. We'll leave this running. Thank you, Dee. Have a great walk, honey. Enjoy the the sunset. the sunset. Just and enjoy family time together. That's wonderful. Yeah, Angelo, I know your fish collection has grown just like Susie Q's. Susie Q's got over 30 tanks, including the 2,000-gallon pond outside, her summer tubs, and all of her. I love her little area that she's making outside for her turtles. She's got, I think, some land tortoise turtles, and she's got some, what is that called? Red stripe. I don't know. I don't know turtles. It's kind of like the ones that Corey has. But anyway, and Jimmy used to have them. Jimmy used to have four of them, and he named them Raphael, Michelangelo, Diego, whatever. The Ninja Turtles. Oh, nice. You too funny. Let's see. This is the 11th, and we hope that everyone has had a few moments of silence for the tragedy of 9/11 here in New York. And it was not just the United States tragedy, it was an international tragedy. Terrorism is zero tolerance anywhere it happens. In Europe, in England, in Asia, in the United States, in Canada, in South America, Australia, anywhere. It has zero tolerance. And we won't put up with terrorism on any level. In races, in nationalities, in organized societies, nothing. So our heart has been heavy today in memory of those lives that were lost, property that was destroyed, and lives that were changed forever. And we just thank God for bringing us as far as He has. A lot of times people will say, well, how does God allow those type of things? Men are evil without God. And that's, you know, He says, vengeance is mine, I will repay. It may not happen when we want it, but we have a loving God and we have a just God. So that's my spiel tonight. Melvin says, oh, back in 2013, my first fish for my Tetra tank was a red rose minnows from Walmart. I had 5 of them, and then they died the same day because we were in there too long grocery shopping. Oh, Melvin's, so sorry to hear that. See, we don't know. CJ says, you're so right, Susan. Thank you, dear. I just wanted to take a moment in the broadcast to remember 9/11. My husband and I were kind of having a little debate this morning about, you know, why we can commemorate or have a memorial for one event and then another event that means something to someone else, they don't want to allow it to happen. And we know we live in an unjust society, and our governments are not what they used to be. And I thank God that America is still uh, as democratic or as free as we are. I'm I'm a veteran. I volunteered into the United States Army back in 1976, and I started serving July of 77, and I served a few months, really, active duty. And I went in under an enlistee program, and I still qualify for 2-year active duty, even though I didn't serve active duty. From the moment that I signed up in 76 to the time I got out, it was almost 2 years. So I qualify for all of those veterans benefits. I got out mainly because I met a guy who was in the Navy, and he wanted to get married, and I wanted to get married, but our AITs and tour of duties was going to be opposite directions. So I said, well, I signed up under a volunteer enlistee program. Let me get out. So I married him. He was in the Navy. So I went from active Army to a Navy wife. And we were married for 20 years, had 3 beautiful children. And he walked out on us. And so 3 years later, I was single. I met Rod. And we married in 2000. And we've been married 18 years, and he is a veteran as well of the United States Air Force. So I have been in Army. I've been in Army, Navy, and Air Force. So I'm veteran, veteran, veteran. My dad was Army Air Corps in World War II. He was a nose gunner on a B-24, and he was also navigator. And the navigator was either above the plane, and I do believe the nose gunner was right out front in front of the pilot. Fancy Tales in here. I'm talking, 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 talking. Let's see. Let me go back. Y'all got me on storytelling tonight. V-Stag. Hey, Victor. Love and hugs. Love and hugs. Love and hugs. And everybody just give Victor some love. So sorry and so late. Business going on. All right, Fancy Tale Aquatics. That's what we want to hear. Business and sales and shipping and packing and receiving and just doing great. That's wonderful, Scott. Melvin says, thank you, Susan. You're welcome. Angelo, nicely said, Susan. Thank you, dear. Daryl Deemer. Hi, Fancy Tale. Angelo says, hi, Fancy. Leslie's Fish Room's in the house. Hey, Leslie, how are you doing, sweetheart? Are you safe? Are you safe? Hey, Fish Fam, I just wanted to pop in and say hello. We are all safe here. I'm listening to the stream while I work on getting the fish room ready for the storm. Thank you all for your prayers. You are welcome, welcome, welcome. And she has recently, haven't you recently joined the hashtag Fish Fam Safe group on Facebook? Keep us posted on things, how things are going. You know, there are 3 questions that are asked to everyone who joins. I believe it wants to, I can't remember what the questions are, but I do know the last one says, do you need anything? Or is there anything we can do? So you let us know if there's anything we can do. And if we have to set up another GoFundMe account under the hashtag FishFam community again, and grow funds and disperse them just, evenly towards each family that needs to replace food or anything, you just let us know. And we'll be ready to jump on that. Everybody's saying, Fancy Tale says, prayers and heartfelt. And hi, Daryl and Angelo. Melvin's is saying hi to Leslie. And Victor says, thank you, Susan. You are welcome, sweetheart. We've been through that. And I don't want anyone to go through what you went through, but it happens. Fancy Tale Aquatics says also, prayers to all of you on the East Coast. My brother is 30 miles from the Outer Banks. Oh, Scott, has he evacuated? Have you had any conversation with your brother? And those in Texas that are going through flooding right now and going to be hit with more rain within the next week, I believe. CJ sharing my Patreon account. Thank you so much, CJ. Yes, if you want to support this stream or support Susan for SLC Aquatics on a monthly basis, just for $1, you can even go to Patreon and click follow and not support. Just be a part of the Patreon group. You get some behind the scenes, you get unedited videos, you get me looking horrible after a water change. Uh, anyway, test quizzes, not quizzes, but polls to answer. And sometimes I've tried it once, but it didn't work. Sometimes you can have private streams with just your patrons through YouTube, but I haven't had a successful one yet. I've done a live stream in the Susan for SLC Aquatics group on Facebook. Heather, hi Heather. Glad I could make it in time to catch you live. Thanks, Heather. I know you've had a busy day, dear. Hope everyone's doing well. Scott says, oh no, as I think it is moving closer to that area. Sad facey. Yes, Scott, check on your brother, and they're supposed to have evacuated. Angelo saying hi to Heather. Leslie says, yes, I'm getting ready to move inland with the residents at the nursing home I work for. God bless you, Leslie, and I pray for everyone to be safe, because I know that's a task and a half right there, taking care of those residents in case of any sudden flooding or structure damage or anything. Fancy Tail says he was not talking. He has not talked to him now to him. He wants to write it out. He and the models seem to be going below Hatteras. Okay. God bless him, Scott. Leslie, wish the best to you and the fishies. Heather says, thank you, Susan. You're welcome, sweetheart. Oh, the newcomers, I got to show y'all. Rod did not make this, but he had it made for me. And I'll share the guy's web link again. It says, Fish Fan Mom, and has a little hangy thing right here for me to hang it up. And I don't know if I'm going to hang it in here or hang it downstairs. And the man who does this, got another baby. Somebody's having babies. I got more babies being born. That's a brand new baby. Yay! I have some Java moss in there for them, and even though the hanging net, there's a bunch of them in there. Leslie says, I do have a question for you all. I'm doing large water changes in the fish room only because I assume we will be without power for some time. Am I hurting them or helping them by doing so much? No, right now water changes is the best thing you can do. And if you had some battery backup air pumps so that you could run at least air through, and Leslie, I'm going to look it back up, but in a fish chat not too long ago, someone talked about the dying off of beneficial bacteria. If you would keep an air stone, a battery operated air stone, going in in your tank, and then every couple hours, I think, if you keep tank water going back through your filter media, even though it's, anyway, I'm going to look that article back up, and I'm going to share it in Susan for SLC Aquatics and on my SLC Aquatics Facebook page. So I'm going to make a note to share that information. And water changes right now, and if you had battery operated pumps for your tanks where you could run at least oxygen, fish that are sensitive to heat, you might want to, I've even seen them wrap their aquarium like in aluminum foil to retain the heat if it's off for days. Anybody else have any suggestions for keeping temperature? I've actually draped a blanket over the top, and as long as you leave that gap of water at least an inch between the lid and the surface of the water for oxygen and gas exchange. Angela says you should be fine with large water change, Leslie. I often do 80% on certain tanks when I medicate without problems. CJ says to Leslie, I'm no expert, but that sounds like a good idea to me. Fancy Tale says, I would agree and feed well, Leslie. Without power, they should be fine as it will be warm. They can go a week without feeding or a week without power. Leslie says, fish room, what kind of filter do you use? Right, that needs to be told. Whether it's a sponge filter or a hang on the back. And if it was sponge filter and you had battery operated pumps, that would be better. They can do fine without lights. The plants will suffer. Notes. I'm trying to make notes. How to prepare. Did I do a video of that last year? How to prepare fish room for storms and power outages. I might have even done a video last year because I think I came on. Diego says God doesn't make bad things happen, just like some are guided by God and others are guided by evil. That's right, Diego. Leslie says, well, I did order several battery-operated air pumps from Walmart, and they were supposed to be delivered to them today. However, they're closed at midnight last night. Oh, bummer. Oh, just do manual water changes through the, just do manual water from the tank through the filter every couple hours. My hat's off to you and Rod. Thanks for serving. Thank you, Diego. Leslie's Fish Room. I've got sponge filters in all of them, and some have a HOB too. So you'll probably, if it's off for a couple hours, you'll probably start losing beneficial bacteria after a couple hours. So when you start your tanks back up, you want to make sure that you rinse that media off. Take some tank water out, rinse that media off in old tank water before you even turn that tank back on. And I would unplug, if the power goes off, I would unplug my hang on the back filter. You don't want any of that to go back into your fish tank because that's going to give you ammonia spikes immediately. And with all that trash coming out of your hang on the back filter. Diego says all are military, active, inactive, and vets. Thank you, dear. Leslie's Fish Room says, I'll look for the video. Thank you so much. Yeah, if I could find it right quick, I'd share it with you. Note to self, order those air pumps before you need them. LOL. I know, honey. I know. You're going to be fine. Don't panic. Just watch your fish. If your fish start looking like they're stressed, do small 10% water changes. I wouldn't feed them while the power's off, unless you have fry, and you want to keep your fry fed and water changed daily. With sponges and no power, the room will stay warm enough, and they can go a week without food. Was what I was trying to say. Just feed them good tonight. Thank you, Scott. Thank you. Confirmation. CJ says, actually, I would only feed lightly to keep the waste down. That way, if you are without power and don't have good water, it would foul the water so quickly, and I could be wrong, though. Feeding them good while you still have power is fine, but if the power went out, I would say, no, don't feed. Leslie says, okay, I'll do that, Fancy Tail. Fancy Tail says, CJ, I agree. I was assuming a good feeding before water changes. My bad. Um, or I'm dismantling my hang on the backs now. Thank you. I wouldn't dismantle them, just unplug them. Use them while you've got power, Leslie. But if the power goes out, unplug them so that when the power comes back on, they're not throwing. I want you to use your hang on the back filter while you have power. When the power goes out, unplug the HOBs so that if hours down the road or days down the road, power comes on and it starts dumping all of that decayed beneficial bacteria into your tank, you're going to pollute your tank. Fancy Tail says, if you have some hang on the backs, drop the filter media in the tank. Yes, you can do that. And that will slow down beneficial bacteria dying off. But they need oxygen to thrive. Beneficial bacteria needs oxygen to thrive. But yeah, it'll help. Thank you, Scott. Yep. I just don't want that bad media dumping anything bad. But Leslie, on the same page, keep your HOB running while you have power. Don't dismantle it. And if power goes off, take the media out of your hang on the back filter and drop it down in your tank. If you have to leave, do it. If you have to evacuate your home, do it before you leave. I'd still unplug my HOB if power went out. Whew. Technicalities. But also, I do believe there's some video up. It might have been a live stream that talked about how to prepare your tanks for a storm or power outage. So I'll also link it in the groups. I'm getting ready to log off. We've been on longer than I thought tonight, which is great. And we've had a good night. I appreciate you all so much. And Rod says that maybe next week he will be with me as a special guest, okay? Oh, okay. I'll unplug them before I leave in the morning then. Right, because you have to go and stay at the nursing home. Put your media down in your tank, turn and unplug them. Alrighty, everyone. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Leslie. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. Don't forget to hit that like button. We'll see you next Tuesday night, Lord willing. And everyone be safe, knowing that we are loving you and praying for you. Susan for SLC Aquatics, signing off. God bless.